The gardens of Corvash Prime stretched across the horizon like an ocean of light. Crystal formations grew from the ground in perfect spirals, catching the double suns and throwing rainbows across the sky. Admiral Jiwan Park stood on the observation platform, watching Dalreen children play among the glowing flowers below. Their laughter sounded like wind chimes in the breeze. She had been on Corvash Prime for 3 years now. 3 years of peace. 3 years of friendship. 3 years of believing the galaxy was a safe place. Ambassador Daeho Kim joined her on the platform, carrying 2 cups of hot tea. He handed one to Jiwon and smiled. The older man had gray hair and kind eyes. He had worked with the Dalreen for almost 2 decades. Beautiful day, Daeho said. Hard to believe we almost missed the festival. Jiwon nodded. Today was the Festival of Unity, celebrating 800 years of Dalreen culture. Humans had been invited as honored guests. It was a big deal. The Dalreen did not trust easily, but they had opened their hearts to Earth. Below them, thousands gathered in the central square. Dalreen were tall and graceful, with pale blue skin and large dark eyes. They wore flowing robes of silver and white. Music filled the air, soft and peaceful. Human diplomats mixed with the crowd, laughing and sharing stories. Valora, the high scholar of Corvash Prime, approached the platform. She moved with the quiet dignity that all Dalreen seemed to possess. Her white robes had symbols of knowledge sewn into them with golden thread. Ambassador Kim, Admiral Park, Valora said, her voice gentle. We are honored by your presence. Your people have brought us much joy. Daeho bowed slightly. The honor is ours, High Scholar. Your world has taught us so much about peace. Valora's eyes shimmered. That was how Dalreen smiled. Come, the ceremony begins soon. Today we share our history with our friends from Earth. They followed Valora down into the square. Jiwan felt relaxed, something rare for a military officer. She had left her sidearm back at the embassy. There was no need for weapons here. The Dalreen had no military. They had no enemies. For 8 centuries they had lived in perfect peace. The galaxy respected that. Everyone respected that, or so they thought. The ceremony started with music. Dalreen musicians played instruments that looked like harps made of crystal. The sound was beautiful, almost magical. Children danced while elders told stories of the old days. Humans watched in wonder, recording everything to send back to Earth. Jiwan checked her communicator out of habit. Nothing unusual. The orbital sensors showed normal space traffic. A few trading vessels, some passenger ships. Everything quiet. She relaxed and turned her attention back to the festival. That was when the sky changed. At first it was just a flicker, a distortion in the air above them. Then the distortion grew. Space itself seemed to tear open. Massive shapes emerged from the darkness. Ships, hundreds of them. The music stopped. Everyone looked up. What is that? Valora asked, confusion in her voice. Jiwan's military training kicked in immediately. She grabbed her communicator and switched to emergency frequency. This is Admiral Park to all Earth personnel. Get to the embassy now. This is not a drill. The ships descended through the atmosphere. They were enormous, dark gray, and covered in weapon ports. Jiwan had seen many alien vessels during her career, but these were different. These were built for war. Daeho pulled out his own communicator. Hailing all vessels. This is Ambassador Daeho Kim of Earth. You are entering protected space. Please identify yourselves. No response. He tried again. This is a peaceful world. The Dalreen are under galactic protection. Please respond. Still nothing. Valora touched Jiwan's arm. What is happening? Who are they? Jiwan did not know, but every instinct in her body screamed danger. High Scholar, you need to evacuate your people now. Evacuate? Valora looked confused. But we have done nothing wrong. This must be a misunderstanding. The lead ship opened fire. A beam of pure energy struck the central plaza. Where there had been dancing and music seconds before, there was now only fire. Hundreds died instantly. The crystal gardens exploded into fragments. The screaming started. Run! Jiwan shouted. She grabbed Valora and pulled her toward cover. Daeho ran beside them, his face pale with shock. All around them, chaos erupted. The peaceful Dalreen ran in panic, not understanding what was happening. They had no shelters, no defenses, no plan for this. More beams rained from the sky. Buildings collapsed. The beautiful city began to burn. Jiwan's communicator crackled. Admiral, this is Lieutenant Hana at the embassy. We are under attack. Multiple hostiles. We cannot hold. Get everyone to the shuttle pad, Ji-won ordered. Prepare for emergency evacuation. There is not enough room for everyone, Hana replied, her voice tight with fear. Ji-won's heart sank. She knew what that meant. Hard choices, impossible choices. They reached the embassy compound. It was chaos. Human diplomats and staff ran in every direction. Some tried to help wounded Dalreen. Others just stared at the sky in shock. Daeho grabbed Ji-won's shoulder. We have to save them. We have to save the Dalreen. We do not have the ships, Ji-won said, hating every word. We have 2 shuttles. Maybe we can save a few hundred. A few hundred? Daeho looked at the burning city. There are millions here. The attacking ships moved methodically across the planet. They were not targeting military sites. They were not trying to conquer. They were destroying everything. This was not war. This was extermination. Ji-won pulled Daeho toward the shuttle pad. If we die here, we cannot tell Earth what happened. We cannot get help. Valora followed them, her robes torn and stained. Her eyes no longer shimmered. They were dull with shock. Why, she kept asking. Why are they doing this? We have hurt no one. They reached the shuttles. Human personnel were loading as many Dalreen as possible. Children first, then elders. But there were too many. So many more waiting. Crying. Begging. One of the attacking ships noticed the shuttles. It turned weapons powering up. Launch now, Ji-won screamed. The first shuttle lifted off just as energy beams struck the pad. The explosion threw Ji-won to the ground. Her ears rang. She looked up and saw the second shuttle, her shuttle damaged but still flying. Daeho pulled her to her feet. They ran. Behind them the embassy exploded. Somehow they made it to the shuttle. Somehow the damaged craft stayed in the air. They climbed through atmosphere as the world below them died. Ji-won forced herself to watch. She recorded everything on her communicator. Every ship. Every weapon signature. Every horror. In the pilot seat, Lieutenant Hana fought to keep them flying. Hull breach in Section 3. Life support failing. We need to get to the jump point. Ji-won looked at the refugees they had saved. Maybe 300 Dalreen. Pressed into a shuttle meant for 50. Their faces showed the end of innocence. The end of peace. Valora sat in the corner, staring at nothing. Her entire civilization was dying below them. The shuttle's sensors showed the planet behind them. The attacking fleet continued its work, systematic, efficient, merciless. Who are they? Daeho whispered. A communication signal finally came through. It was broadcast on all frequencies. A face appeared on the screen. Alien, reptilian features. Cold eyes. I am Commander Murak of the Vrexian Dominion. This world is now claimed. All life here will be removed to make space for our expansion. This is the will of the Dominion. The transmission ended. Ji-won looked at Daeho. His face was pale. His hands shook. But his eyes showed something new. Something dangerous. Get me a secure line to Earth Command, Ji-won said quietly. Now. The damaged shuttle limped toward the jump point. Behind them, Corvash Prime burned. The Dalreen were dying. 800 years of peace erased in hours. Ji-won sat in the captain's chair and began her report. Her voice was steady despite the tears on her face. She described everything. The attack. The genocide. The name Vrexian Dominion. When she finished, there was silence on the other end of the transmission. Then a voice came back. It was Fleet Admiral Hyunwoo Chang, commander of all Earth military forces. Confirmed, Admiral Park. Return to Earth immediately. We will be waiting. Another pause. And Admiral? Hyunwoo's voice was cold as space itself. Tell the survivors we will not forget. Tell them Earth remembers its friends. The transmission ended with 5 words that would change the galaxy forever. Mobilize Protocol Ragnarok. No exceptions. Ji-won closed her eyes. She thought of the laughing children in the crystal gardens. She thought of Valora's kind smile. She thought of a peaceful people who had trusted in galactic law, and she thought of what was coming. The Vrexian Dominion had made a terrible mistake. They had killed Earth's friends. Now they would learn what that meant. The conference room deep beneath Geneva was cold. Fleet Admiral Hyunwoo Chang stood at the head of a long table, his uniform crisp and his face unreadable. Around him sat the most powerful people on Earth, military commanders, government leaders, scientists, intelligence officers. On the main screen, images from Corvash Prime played on repeat. Burning cities, falling bodies, A civilization ending. Secretary General Yoon Han watched the footage with horror in her eyes. She was the head of Earth's civilian government, a diplomat who had spent her life building bridges between worlds. Now she watched those bridges burn. How many survived? She asked quietly. Less than 2,000, Yenwu replied. Out of 40 million Dalreen. The Vrexian fleet was thorough. Silence filled the room. The weight of genocide pressed down on everyone present. Admiral Ji-won Park sat at the table, still wearing her damaged uniform from the escape. Her face was hollow. She had not slept in 3 days. They did not even try to communicate. They just killed. Everyone, everything. Yoonji looked at Hyunwoo. What does the Galactic Council say? They are holding an emergency session, Hyunwoo said. They will debate. They will write reports. They will do nothing. Then what do we do? Hyunwoo pressed a button. The images of Corvash Prime disappeared. New images replaced them. Starships, hundreds of them, maybe thousands. They were sleek and dark, covered in weapon systems that looked nothing like the ships Earth showed the galaxy. Yoonji stood up slowly. What am I looking at? The truth, Hyunwoo said simply. For the last 40 years, Earth has been building a military fleet in secret. We called it the Ghost Protocol. Ships that do not appear on any public records. Weapons that violate every galactic treaty. Technology that we told no one about. The room erupted. Voices rose in shock and anger. Hyunji's face went pale. You built a secret war fleet? Without government approval? With approval, Hyunwoo corrected. Just not yours. Your predecessor knew. The military council knew. We all agreed it was necessary. Necessary? Yoonji's voice shook. We are supposed to be a peaceful species. We joined the galactic community as explorers and traders. Hyunwoo's expression did not change. Yes, and we studied that community carefully. Do you know what we learned, Madam Secretary? He pressed another button. Historical records appeared. Images of alien species, dozens of them. These were all peaceful species, Hyunwoo continued. The Melevans, the Tresh, the Yalindra, all extinct now, all destroyed by aggressive empires, all trusted in galactic law to protect them. He zoomed in on one image, a species that looked almost human, with golden skin and gentle faces. The Kelmorans. They were conquered 80 years ago. They had no military. They believed in peace. The galactic community did nothing. The Kelmorans are now slaves, another image. The Prythian, extinct. Their world is a Vrexian mining colony now. More images. More dead civilizations. We saw the pattern, Hyunwoo said coldly. The galaxy does not protect the peaceful. It forgets them. So Earth made a choice. We would smile and trade and explore. But we would also prepare. Dr. Minji Bayek stood up. She was a small woman with sharp eyes and graying hair. She had been quiet until now. I am the director of the Ghost Protocol Research Division. I need to show you what we have built. She activated her own presentation. Technical specifications filled the screens. Weapons, engines, defense systems. Our ships use stealth technology that makes them invisible to standard sensors, Minji explained. We can be right next to someone and they will not know we are there. She showed a video of a test. A massive Earth warship simply vanished from all detection equipment. Our weapons include relativistic kinetic bombardment systems. We accelerate projectiles to near light speed. The impact is like a nuclear explosion but leaves no radiation. Another video. A test asteroid simply ceased to exist. We have quantum disruption torpedoes. They break molecular bonds at the atomic level. A ship hit by these does not explode. It just stops being. More footage. A decommissioned satellite dissolved into nothing. And we have nanite swarms. Microscopic machines that can disable electronics, cut through armor, or repair our own ships in real time. Yoonji sat down heavily. This is horrifying. These weapons are banned by every galactic treaty. Earth never signed those treaties, Captain Young Ho Shin said. He was the commander of the first Ghost Protocol ship, the EDS Revenant. Young for a captain, but his record was perfect. We observed them. We smiled and nodded, but we never agreed to limit ourselves. Lieutenant Soman Kwan, an intelligence officer, added her report. We have complete intelligence on the Vrexian Dominion. They control 47 star systems. They rule through fear and overwhelming force. They have destroyed 12 species in the last century. The galaxy knows this. The galaxy does nothing. Because everyone is afraid, Ji-won said bitterly. The Vrexians are strong, so the council talks and delays and hopes the Vrexians attack someone else. Yunji looked around the table. So what are you proposing? That we go to war? That we become murderers like them? No, Hyunwoo said firmly. We become justice. The Dalreen were our friends, our allies. They trusted us to stand with them. We failed. But we can still answer for them. By killing? By removing the threat, Young-ho said. The Vrexians respect only strength. They will not stop. They will destroy more peaceful worlds. More friends. Unless someone stops them. Yunji closed her eyes. When she opened them, they were hard. If we do this, if we unleash these weapons, we can never go back. The galaxy will see us differently. They will fear us. Good, Ji-won said, her voice like ice. Let them fear us. The Dalreen were not feared. They are dead. Every last one of them. Hyunwoo brought up a tactical display. We have 173 Ghost Protocol ships ready for combat. They are stationed throughout the Sol system in hidden facilities. We can mobilize them within 48 hours. Our plan is simple, Minji added. We strike Vrexian military targets only. We do not harm civilians. We are not them. But we will break their ability to make war. How long will this campaign take? Yunji asked. Months, Hyunwoo admitted. Maybe a year. The Vrexians have a large military spread across many systems. But every day we delay, they might attack another world. Salmon pulled up new intelligence. Our sources indicate the Vrexians are already moving on their next target. A species called the Fendori. They are peaceful traders like the Dalreen. The room went quiet again. Yunji stood and walked to the window. Outside, the sun was setting over the mountains. Earth looked peaceful, beautiful, safe. I spent my whole life believing in diplomacy, she said softly. I thought we could solve anything through talking, through understanding. She turned back to face them. But you are right. We tried talking with the Vrexians. We sent messages. We pleaded. They ignored us. And our friends died screaming. She walked back to the table and placed both hands on it. If we do this, we do it right. Military targets only. No war crimes. No torture. No genocide. We remove the threat, but we keep our humanity, agreed? Everyone nodded. Then I authorize Protocol Ragnarok, Yunji said, her voice stronger now. But I want one more thing. When this is over, I want the Ghost Protocol made public. No more secrets. The galaxy needs to know what Earth can do, so they never test us again. Hyunwoo allowed himself a small smile. Agreed, Madam Secretary. He turned to his officers. Young-ho, prepare the Revenant for immediate deployment. Ji-won, I need you to coordinate with our intelligence network. Find me every Vrexian military installation. Minji, make sure all experimental weapons are ready. We test nothing on the battlefield that has not been proven safe for our crews. Summon. I want constant intelligence updates. I need to know where the Vrexian leaders are at all times. They all saluted and began to leave. Hyunwoo called out once more. And someone tell the Dalreen survivors. Tell them Earth has not forgotten. Tell them we are coming. After everyone left, Yunji and Hyunwoo stood alone in the conference room. We are about to change everything, Yunji said. The galaxy will never be the same. The galaxy changed when the Vrexians murdered 40 million innocent people, Hyunwoo replied. We are just responding. I hope you are right, Yunji said. I hope history sees us as heroes and not monsters. Hyunwoo looked at the frozen image of Corvash Prime burning on the screen. History is written by those who survive. We will make sure it is not written by the Vrexians. Deep in space, hidden among the asteroids and moons of the outer solar system, the Ghost Fleet began to wake up. Ships that had waited decades for this moment powered up their engines. Crews that had trained in absolute secrecy took their stations. The Vrexian Dominion had started this war by destroying the innocent. Earth would finish it by destroying the guilty. The EDS Revenant moved through space like a ghost. Silent, invisible, deadly. Captain Young-ho Shin sat in the command chair, watching the tactical display. Ahead of them, the Vrexian colony of Thexus 9 glowed against the darkness. It was a mining world, ugly and industrial. More importantly, it was a military staging ground. Status report, Young-ho said calmly. Commander Ji-hoon Lee checked his console. We are within weapons range, still undetected. Enemy forces show 17 warships in orbit, multiple defense platforms, and ground installations. Civilian populations? Mining facilities are automated. We detect approximately 5,000 Vrexian military personnel. No civilian settlements within strike range. Young-ho nodded. That was important. Earth had rules for this war. Only military targets. No innocents. They would not become the monsters they were fighting. Lieutenant Bora Choi spoke from communications. Captain, I am picking up encrypted Vrexian transmissions. They are celebrating. Celebrating what? Bora's face hardened. Their victory at Corvash Prime. They are calling it a great conquest. They are laughing about how easy it was. The bridge went silent. Every officer present had seen the footage from Corvash Prime. They had seen children burning. They had seen a civilization die. Young-ho's jaw tightened. How long until the rest of the fleet arrives? 10 minutes, Ji-hoon replied. Strike Group Beta and Gamma are in position. All ships reporting ready. Good. Young-ho stood up and walked to the main window. Out there, Vrexian soldiers thought they were safe. They thought no one would challenge them. They thought the galaxy was too afraid. They were wrong. Open fleet-wide channel, Young-ho ordered. Bora worked her console. Channel open, sir. This is Captain Shin to all ships. You know why we are here. The Vrexians murdered our friends. They killed innocent people who never raised a weapon against anyone. Today we show them that actions have consequences. He paused, making sure every word was clear. Remember your training. Military targets only. If you see civilians, you do not fire. We are not here for revenge, we are here for justice, and we are here to make sure this never happens again. Another pause. All ships, weapons free. Let us remind the galaxy that Earth protects its friends. The Revenant shuddered slightly as its weapon systems came online. Around them, invisible to Vrexian sensors, 40 other Earth warships did the same. Ji-hoon, you have tactical command, Young-ho said. Light them up. Ji-hoon's fingers moved across his controls. Targeting defense platforms first. Firing solution locked, launch torpedoes. The quantum disruption torpedoes left the Revenant in complete silence. There was no flash, no sound in the vacuum of space, just death moving at incredible speed. The first Vrexian defense platform simply vanished. One moment it was there, a massive structure bristling with weapons. The next moment, it was dust scattered across space. Then the second platform died. Then the third. Alarms started screaming on Vrexian ships. Their sensors had detected the explosions but could not find the attackers. The Vrexian commander started shouting orders, his voice panicked on the open channels. Unknown attackers. All ships to battle stations. Find them. But they could not find what they could not see. Pilot Hana Song led her fighter squadron from the Revenant's launch bay. 20 small craft, each one invisible to enemy sensors. Each one carrying enough firepower to cripple a warship. Blue Squadron, stay tight, Hana said over the squadron channel. We go for their engines first, leave them dead in space. The fighters moved through the Vrexian formation like sharks through water. The Vrexians fired wildly, hitting nothing. Their sensors showed empty space, even as death flew around them. Hana lined up her shot on a Vrexian battleship. It was huge, 10 times the size of her fighter. But size meant nothing if you could not see your enemy. Target locked. Firing. Her missile struck the battleship's engine core. The explosion tore through the back half of the ship. It did not destroy it, just crippled it. Left it floating helplessly. Around her, her squadron did the same to other ships. Within minutes, the Vrexian fleet was in chaos. Ships collided as they tried to evade enemies they could not detect. Some fired on each other by accident. On the Revenant's bridge, Young-ho watched the battle unfold. It was going exactly as planned. Overwhelming. Precise. Terrifying for the enemy. Bora, open a channel to the Vrexian command, he ordered. Channel open, sir. Young-ho spoke clearly. Vrexian forces, this is Captain Young-ho Shin of the Earth Defense Fleet. You are under attack for your unprovoked genocide of the Dalreen people. Surrender immediately and evacuate to the planet surface. You have 5 minutes to comply. The response came quickly. It was Grand General Murak himself, the commander who had led the attack on Corvash Prime. His reptilian face filled the screen, his eyes full of rage. Earth? Murak laughed. The pathetic humans? You dare attack the Dominion? You are primitives playing with toys you do not understand. We understand perfectly, Young-ho replied coldly. You murdered 40 million people. Now you face justice. Justice? Murak's laugh grew louder. There is no justice in this galaxy. Only the strong survive. The Dalreen were weak. That is why they died. And what does that make you? Young-ho asked. Your ships are crippled. Your defenses are gone. You cannot even see us. Who is weak now? Murak's smile faded. You think this changes anything? The Dominion controls 47 systems, hundreds of ships, thousands of warriors. You cannot win. We are not here to win, Young-ho said. We are here to teach. Your 5 minutes are up. Jihoon, remove their remaining ships from orbit. The Earth fleet opened fire with everything. Kinetic weapons moving. At relativistic speeds hit Vrexian warships like the hammer of an angry god. Ships that had terrorized peaceful species for decades broke apart under the assault. Murak's flagship tried to flee. It never made it past the moon. The quantum torpedoes hit it directly. The massive dreadnought that had led the assault on Corvash Prime dissolved into nothing, molecular bonds breaking, atoms scattering. Gone. Jihoon looked up from his console. All Vrexian warships destroyed or disabled, sir. The orbital space is clear. Ground forces? Young-ho asked, detecting movement at the military base. They are trying to organize a defense. Young-ho nodded. Launch the Marines. Commander Tai-hyung's team is authorized for ground assault. Rules of engagement remain the same. Military only. Drop pods fell from the Revenant like rain. Inside each one, Earth Marines in combat armor prepared for battle. These were not the friendly explorers the galaxy knew. These were soldiers trained for war. Commander Tae-hyung-yoon checked his weapon one last time as his pod screamed through the atmosphere. Around him, his team did the same. They had trained for this. Practiced it 1,000 times, but this was real. The pod hit the ground hard. The door blew open. Tae-hyung was moving before the dust settled. The Vrexian military base sprawled across a valley. Weapons emplacements, barracks, command centers. Vrexian soldiers ran in every direction trying to form defensive lines. All teams secure the perimeter, Tae-hyung ordered. Disable their communications first. I want them isolated. The Marines moved with brutal efficiency. Enhanced armor made them stronger and faster than any Vrexian. Weapons that could punch through tank armor made them deadly. And training that emphasized precision made them professional. A Vrexian squad opened fire from behind a bunker. The bullets bounced off Marine armor. Tae-hyung's team returned fire, targeting weapons and legs. Disabling, not killing when possible. Surrender and you will be treated fairly. Tae-hyung broadcast on all frequencies. Resist and you will be eliminated. You have one warning. Some Vrexians dropped their weapons. Others fought harder. Within an hour, the base was under Earth control. In orbit, Young-ho received the report. Base secured. Vrexian forces neutralized. We have prisoners. Casualties on our side? Minor injuries only. The enemy could not penetrate our armor. Young-ho allowed himself a small moment of satisfaction. Then he turned to Bora. Send a message to the Vrexian High Command. Make sure every one of their leaders receives it. Ready to transmit, sir. Young-ho looked directly at the camera. His face was calm, but his eyes were cold as space. This is the Earth Defense Fleet. You destroyed the Dalreen without warning or mercy. You believed no one would respond. You were wrong. This attack is just the beginning. Every military installation you have will be destroyed. Every warship will be eliminated. Every threat you pose will be removed. He leaned forward. You wanted to show the galaxy that might makes right, that the strong can do as they please. Let us teach you a different lesson. Power without honor is nothing. Strength without justice is weakness. And those who prey on the innocent will face those who protect them. One more pause. You can surrender your military forces and withdraw from all conquered territories. Or you can fight. Either way, the Dalreen will be answered. Earth does not forget its friends. The transmission ended. Bora looked up. Sir, I I'm detecting Vrexian military channels lighting up across their entire empire. They all just received our message. Good, Young-Ho said. Let them talk. Let them worry. Let them feel what the Dalreen felt knowing death was coming. The Galactic Council station floated in neutral space, a massive structure where hundreds of species gathered to govern the galaxy. Today, the Great Chamber was filled to capacity. Representatives from every corner of known space had come for the emergency session. Ambassador Daeho Kim walked through the corridor toward the main hall. His footsteps echoed on the metal floor. Behind him, Admiral Ji-won Park followed in full military uniform. They were here to answer for Earth's actions. They will try to condemn us, Ji-won said quietly. The Council does not like anyone disrupting their careful balance. Daeho nodded. Let them try. We have nothing to hide. They entered the chamber. It was enormous, with seats rising in circles around a central platform. Hundreds of alien species watched them enter, some with curiosity, some with fear, some with barely hidden satisfaction. At the highest seat sat Counselor Threven of the Axion Collective. He was old, his blue skin wrinkled with age. He had led the council for 30 years. He valued order above all else. Next to him sat Counselor Mara of the Hesperan Union. She was younger, with golden eyes that missed nothing. Her people were warriors who had given up war to join the galactic community. High Judge Korath occupied another seat. He led the Galactic Justice Bureau, the organization that was supposed to enforce galactic law. He looked uncomfortable. On a holographic display, Grand General Murak appeared. He was broadcasting from a Vrexian command ship. His face showed rage and humiliation. The council will come to order, Threven announced. His voice was deep and carried throughout the chamber. We are here to address the unprovoked attacks by Earth forces on Vrexian territory. Murak spoke immediately. The humans have committed acts of terrorism and piracy. They attacked without warning, without declaration. They destroyed military installations and killed Vrexian soldiers. The Council must condemn these actions and demand Earth withdraw. Murmurs filled the chamber. Some species nodded in agreement. Others looked uncertain. Threven turned to Daeho. Ambassador Kim, how does Earth respond to these charges? Daeho walked to the center platform. He stood calmly, his hands behind his back. When he spoke, his voice was clear and strong. Earth responds with the truth. We did attack Vrexian military forces. We did destroy their installations. We did kill their soldiers, and we will continue to do so until justice is served. The chamber erupted. Voices shouted in multiple languages. Some species stood in shock. Others demanded explanations. Threven called for order. Ambassador Kim, you admit to these attacks. You understand this violates galactic law. What galactic law? Daeho asked simply. Show me the law that Earth signed. Show me the treaty that we agreed to. Threven looked confused. The Treaty of Unified Peace. All civilized species have signed it. Earth has not, Daeho said. We observed it. We respected it. But we never signed it. We are not bound by laws we never agreed to follow. High Judge Korath leaned forward. This is a dangerous precedent, Ambassador. If any species can ignore galactic law, there will be chaos. Chaos? Ji-won stepped forward, her voice hard. Where was galactic law when the Vrexians destroyed Corvash Prime? Where was the Council when 40 million Dalreen died? She activated a holographic display. Images appeared above the platform. Corvash Prime burning. Children dying. The beautiful crystal gardens destroyed. The chamber went silent. Many counselors looked away. They had all seen these images before. They had all done nothing. The Dalreen were under galactic protection, Ji-won continued. They trusted in council law. They believed you would defend them. They had no weapons because you promised they did not need weapons. She turned to face Murak's hologram. And where was the council when this creature ordered their extinction? Murak snarled. The Dalreen occupied territory the Dominion required. They were removed. This is the law of nature. The strong survive. Then by that same law, Daeho said calmly, Earth is removing you. You were strong enough to murder the defenseless. Let us see if you are strong enough to face those who can fight back. Threven held up a hand. The council held emergency sessions about Corvash Prime. We debated the proper response. You debated, Ji-won said bitterly. For weeks you debated while the Vrexians celebrated genocide. Tell me, Counselor, what conclusion did your debates reach? Threven looked uncomfortable. We were preparing sanctions. Economic penalties, diplomatic pressure. Sanctions, Jiwan repeated. The Dalreen are extinct. But you were preparing sanctions. Counselor Mara spoke for the first time. Her voice was firm. Ambassador Park makes a valid point. The Council's response was inadequate. But that does not justify Earth taking justice into its own hands. Then who should take justice? Deho asked. The Council that does nothing? The Justice Bureau that has no enforcement power? Or should the Dalreen have simply accepted death because fighting back would be improper? He pulled out a data tablet. Let me share something with the Council. We have spent the last 10 years researching Vrexian expansion. Would you like to know what we found? He activated another display. Lists of species appeared. Dozens of names, 12 species extinct, 23 species enslaved, 47 conquered worlds. All in the last century, all while the Council debated and discussed and did absolutely nothing. The chamber filled with uncomfortable silence. Everyone knew these facts. No one wanted to acknowledge them. The Prythene, Deho continued, extinct 15 years ago. The Council sent a strongly worded letter. The Kelmerans enslaved 8 years ago. The Council imposed minor trade restrictions that the Vrexians ignored. The Alindra, extinct just 3 years ago. The Council held a moment of silence in their honor. His voice grew colder. How noble. How civilized. How absolutely useless, Murak laughed. The human makes our point for us. The galaxy belongs to the strong. If these species were too weak to defend themselves, they deserved their fate. Then you deserve yours, Jiwan said simply. Threven stood. This rhetoric helps nothing. Earth has violated established norms of warfare. Your weapons are banned under galactic convention. Your attacks were unprovoked aggression. Unprovoked? Deho's voice rose for the first time. They murdered our allies, our friends. They killed every Dalreen they could find. If that is not provocation, what is? The proper response was to bring evidence to the Council, Threven insisted. To let justice be served through proper channels. We are bringing evidence now, Deho said. He activated one more display. This one showed detailed records. These are Vrexian communications we intercepted. They are planning their next attack, a species called the Fendori. Peaceful traders. No military. Sound familiar? The Fendori representative, a small blue creature, gasped in horror. The attack is scheduled for next month, Deho continued.
Tell me, Counselor, how long would the Council take to debate this?
Would you reach a conclusion before or after the Fendori joined the Dalreen in extinction? No one answered. Deho turned to address the entire chamber. Earth will not wait for the Council to find its courage. We will not watch more innocent species die while you debate. The Vrexian Dominion has shown what they are. Murderers, butchers. They respect only force, so Earth will give them force. This is madness, High Judge Korath said. If we allow Earth to act as judge and executioner, what stops others from doing the same? Maybe others should, Counselor Mara said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. The Council has failed to protect the weak. We all know this. Perhaps it takes someone willing to fight to remind us what protection actually means. Threven looked shocked. You support Earth's actions? I support justice, Mara replied, which the Council has failed to provide. Other counselors began to speak. Some supported Earth, some condemned them. The chamber descended into chaos as species took sides. Murak's hologram flickered as he shouted. The Dominion will not accept this insult. We will crush Earth. We will make examples of every human world. Deho turned to face him directly. You are welcome to try, but know this, every military asset you have is a target. Every warship. Every base. Every weapons platform. We will eliminate them all. You cannot defeat the Dominion, Murak snarled. We have thousands of ships. Millions of soldiers. You had 17 ships at Thexus 9, Jiwan said coldly. Where are they now? You had defense platforms, ground forces all gone, and we did not lose a single ship. Murak's face twisted with rage. We will see how brave you are when we bring our full might against you. We look forward to it, Deho said calmly. Threven called for order again. The Council must vote on a resolution. Do we condemn Earth's actions or do we allow this to continue? The vote was close. Many species voted to condemn Earth, but many others abstained or voted against condemnation. The resolution failed to pass. Threven looked defeated. Then the Council has no official position. Earth, you act without our approval but also without our condemnation. We do not need your approval, Deho said. We are doing what you should have done years ago. Protecting the innocent. He started to walk toward the exit. Then he stopped and turned back. One more thing. After we finish with the Vrexians, Earth will propose new council laws. Real enforcement. Real protection for peaceful species. If you cannot protect them, you have no right to govern them. 3 months had passed since Earth's first strike. 3 months of war that the galaxy watched with growing amazement and fear. Fleet Admiral Hyunwoo Chang stood on the bridge of the EDS Indomitable, his flagship. Around him, holographic displays showed the current state of the war. Red markers indicated Vrexian positions. Blue markers showed Earth forces. The red markers were disappearing one by one. Status report, Hyunwoo ordered. Captain Young-ho Shin, now commanding a battle group, appeared on screen. Sector 7 is clear, Admiral. We destroyed 3 Vrexian supply depots and 12 patrol ships. No Earth casualties, another screen activated. Wing Commander Hana Song reported from her carrier. Fighter wings have completed reconnaissance of Sector 9. We found a hidden Vrexian base. Coordinates transmitted. Hyunwoo nodded. Good work. All units maintain pressure. Do not give them time to regroup. The war was going better than anyone had expected. Earth forces had attacked 40 Vrexian installations without losing a single ship. The Ghost Fleet's stealth technology gave them an overwhelming advantage. The Vrexians could not fight what they could not see, but Hyunwoo knew it could not last forever. The Vrexians were adapting, learning, getting desperate. Lieutenant Somin Kwan approached with a data tablet. Admiral, intelligence reports the Vrexians are doing something unusual. They are pulling back from border systems and concentrating their forces. Where? Krasik Station. It is their largest military hub. We estimate 40,000 Vrexian soldiers are gathering there. Hyunwoo studied the tactical display. Krasik Station was massive, built into an asteroid field. It protected the core Vrexian worlds. If they were gathering there, it meant they were preparing for a last stand. They are trying to force a major battle, Hyunwoo said. They want to prove they can still fight back. Should we avoid them? Someone asked. We can continue hitting smaller targets. Hyunwoo shook his head. No. If we let them concentrate their forces, they will use Krasix as a base to raid peaceful worlds. We need to end this. He opened a fleet-wide channel. All battle groups new orders. We are moving against Krasik Station. This will be our largest operation. Prepare for full-scale assault. Across multiple star systems, Earth ships received the orders and began moving toward Krasix. On a Vrexian command ship near Krasik Station, Grand General Murak watched his forces gather. 3 months of defeat had changed him. His confidence was gone, replaced by cold determination. The humans had humiliated the Dominion. Now he would show them that Vrexian warriors could still fight. How many ships do we have? Murak asked his officers. 200 warships, General. Every vessel we could spare from across the Empire. Plus the station's defense systems. And the humans? Our scouts cannot track them reliably. But intelligence suggests they will bring their full fleet. Maybe 170 ships. Murak smiled for the first time in weeks. Then we have superior numbers. Finally, a fair fight. His tactical officer looked nervous. General, the humans have not lost a single engagement. Their technology is far beyond ours. Perhaps we should negotiate. Negotiate? Murak's voice was dangerous. The Dominion does not beg. We are warriors. If we must die, we die fighting. He turned to address his crew. The humans think they have won. They think we are defeated. Let us show them what Vrexian warriors can do when cornered. The Earth fleet arrived at the edge of the Krasix system in formation. Hyunwoo stood at the center of his flagship's bridge, watching the enemy position. The Vrexians were not hiding. They wanted this battle. All ships report ready, Admiral, Soman announced. Hyunwoo opened a channel to his commanders. Young-ho, Hana, and dozens of other captains appeared on screen. This is the moment that will decide the war, Hyunwoo said. The Vrexians have gathered everything they have left. If we break them here, their ability to threaten peaceful worlds ends. But this will not be easy. They outnumber us. They are desperate. Desperate enemies are dangerous. He paused, making sure everyone understood. Remember why we fight. Remember the Dalreen. Remember every species the Vrexians destroyed. We are here to make sure it never happens again. All ships move into attack formation. The Ghost Fleet advanced. Even in the vastness of space, it was an impressive sight. Earth's warships moved with perfect coordination, still invisible to Vrexian sensors. Enemy is launching fighters, reported the tactical officer. Hundreds of them. They are spreading out in a search pattern. Let them search, Hyunwoo said. All ships wait for my command. The Vrexian fighters flew through space, scanning desperately for the Earth fleet. They knew the humans were there somewhere. They just could not find them. Then Hyunwoo gave the order. All ships decloak, show them what they face. Across the battlefield, Earth ships became visible. One moment there was empty space. The next moment, a fleet of advanced warships appeared like ghosts becoming solid. The Vrexian forces hesitated for just a second. That second was all Earth needed. All weapons opened fire, space erupted with violence. Quantum torpedoes streaked toward Vrexian ships. Kinetic weapons fired at relativistic speeds. Energy beams cut through the darkness. The Vrexian fleet fired back. Hundreds of weapons unleashed at once. It was the largest space battle in galactic history. Young Ho's battle group engaged the Vrexian right flank. His ships moved through the enemy formation, targeting engines and weapon systems. Focus fire on their capital ships. Take out the big ones first. Hana led her fighter squadrons into the chaos. Vrexian fighters outnumbered them 3-1, but Earth pilots had better training and better ships. Blue Squadron with me. Let us clear a path for the bombers. Her fighters danced through enemy fire. Every move was precise. Every shot calculated. Vrexian fighters fell like rain. On the Indomitable, Dr. Minji Beck coordinated the deployment of experimental weapons from her science station, releasing nanite swarms on coordinates Delta 7. Clouds of microscopic machines flowed toward Vrexian ships. When they made contact, the nanites went to work. Electronics failed. Weapon systems shut down. Ships went dark and dead in space. Commander Tae-hyung-yoon led a boarding assault on one of the disabled Vrexian cruisers. His Marines cut through the hull and entered the ship. Inside, Vrexian soldiers fought desperately, but Earth Marines were better equipped and better trained. Secure the bridge, Tae-hyung ordered. Take prisoners where possible. Anyone who surrenders is to be treated fairly. The battle raged for hours. Ships on both sides took damage, but slowly, inevitably, Earth's superior technology began to tell. Vrexian ships fell one after another. Murak watched from his command ship as his forces were destroyed. His pride had led him to this. His arrogance had convinced him the Dominion could win. He had been wrong. General, we have lost 70% of our fleet. His tactical officer reported. We must retreat. No, Murak said firmly. We hold the line. For the honor of the Dominion. There is no honor in pointless death, the officer pleaded. Murak pulled out his sidearm and shot the officer. Anyone else wish to question my orders? The bridge crew went silent. Hyunwoo saw the Vrexian command ship still fighting. It was isolated now, most of its support destroyed. He opened a direct channel to Murak. Grand General Murak, your fleet is defeated. Surrender and your surviving forces will be treated according to galactic standards. You have my word. Murak's face appeared on screen. It was covered in blood from a head wound, but his eyes burned with hatred. The Dominion does not surrender to primitives. Then you choose death, Hyunwoo said quietly. I gave you a chance. I do not want your mercy, Murak snarled. I will show you that Vrexian warriors know how to die with honor. He turned to his crew. All power to engines. Set collision course with the human flagship. If we die, we take them with us. The command ship surged forward, accelerating directly at the Indomitable. Evasive maneuvers, Hyunwoo ordered calmly. But Young Ho's ship was closer. The Revenant, the ship that had started this war, moved to intercept. Captain Shin, what are you doing? Hyunwoo demanded. My job, Admiral, Young Ho replied. His ship accelerated toward the enemy. All hands, brace for impact. The two ships collided in a massive explosion. The Vrexian command ship broke apart. The Revenant spun away, its hull breached in multiple places. Young Ho, Hyunwoo shouted, static. Then a weak signal. Still here, Admiral. Ship is badly damaged, but we are alive. That was too close. Relief flooded through Hyunwoo. Get your crew to the escape pods. We will pick you up. Negative, sir. Engineering says they can patch us up. The Revenant is not done yet. Hyunwoo smiled despite himself. Stubborn fool. Fine. But you are getting a new ship after this. With Murak dead and the command ship destroyed, Vrexian resistance collapsed. The remaining ships tried to flee. Most were disabled by Earth forces and captured. A few escaped into deep space. Krasik Station itself surrendered after a brief bombardment. 40,000 Vrexian soldiers laid down their weapons and were taken into custody. The battle was over. Earth had won, but the victory came at a cost. The Revenant was heavily damaged. 2 other Earth ships had taken serious hits. For the first time, Earth forces had casualties. 37 dead, 112 wounded. Rexian Dominion fell. The galaxy would never be the same. Secretary General Yoon Han stood at the window of her office on Earth, looking out at the city below. Geneva was peaceful as always. Children played in parks. People went about their lives. They did not realize how close they had come to war arriving at their doorstep. Behind her, reports covered her desk. Requests from alien species asking for Earth protection. Trade agreements. Alliance proposals. Invitations to join defense pacts. Everyone wanted to be friends with Earth now. Her communicator chimed. "Madam Secretary, Ambassador Kim is here for the meeting. Send him in." Daeho entered looking tired but satisfied. He had spent the last year traveling across the galaxy, building new relationships and repairing old ones. "The transport is ready. We leave for the memorial ceremony in 2 hours. Yoonji nodded. "How many species confirmed attendance?" 217. "Nearly every member of the Galactic Council, plus the liberated worlds." "The liberated worlds," Yoonji repeated. That was what they called the 47 systems freed from Vrexian control. Dozens of species that had lived under oppression for decades were finally free. "How are they managing?" "Better than expected," Daeho said. "We have been helping them rebuild. Food, medical supplies, technology, many are grateful." "And the others?" Daeho's expression darkened slightly. "Some fear us. They see our military power and worry we will become the new oppressors. The Torvine have refused all contact. The Helmar requested we remove our ships from their space." Yoonji sighed. "We freed them and they fear us. I suppose that is understandable." "Fear is natural after what they experienced," Daeho agreed. "But most species recognize that we only targeted Vrexian military. We did not conquer. We did not occupy. We simply removed the threat and left." A knock at the door. Admiral Jiwan Park entered in dress uniform. She had been promoted after the war, now serving as Earth's chief military liaison to the galactic community. "The honor guard is assembled. Admiral Young-ho sends his regards. He is already at Corvash Prime preparing the site." "How is he doing?" Yoonji asked. Young-ho had nearly died when the Revenant was damaged. He had spent months recovering. He is well. Eager to return to duty, actually. The new Revenant is almost complete, bigger, better. He jokes that he needs to test it properly. "No more testing," Yoonji said firmly. "We have had enough war for a lifetime." They traveled to Corvash Prime by diplomatic ship. The journey took 3 days through multiple jump points. When they finally arrived, Yoonji's breath caught in her throat. The planet had been healing. Where cities once burned, new growth had appeared. The crystal gardens were beginning to regrow, small spirals of light pushing up through the ash. Nature was reclaiming what had been destroyed. But the scars remained. Entire continents were still barren. The population centers were ruins. The beautiful world she had seen in recordings was gone forever. At the main landing site, representatives from across the galaxy gathered. Species of every shape and size stood together. Some were former enemies. Some had never spoken before. Today they were united in remembrance. Admiral Young-ho stood near a massive monument that Earth engineers had built. It was made from salvaged crystal from the destroyed gardens, reformed into a towering spire that caught the light and threw rainbows across the ground. At its base, names were carved. 40 million names, every single Dalreen who had died. Young-ho saluted as Yoonji approached. "Madam Secretary, everything is ready." Yoonji looked at the monument. "It is beautiful. The Dalreen would have appreciated it." "I hope so," Young-ho said quietly. "We owe them so much. If they had not died, Earth might never have acted. Other species might have fallen to the Vrexians. That is a heavy burden to carry." "Yes," Young-ho agreed, "but someone must carry it." The ceremony began as the sun set. Yoonji had insisted on simple dignity rather than grand spectacle. This was not about Earth's victory. It was about remembering the innocent. Jiwan spoke first, her voice clear and strong. "We gather here to honor the Dalreen people, a civilization that chose peace over war, knowledge over conquest, friendship over fear. They welcomed humanity with open hearts. They shared their culture, their art, their wisdom. They asked nothing in return but our friendship." She paused, looking at the gathered crowd. 1 year ago, the Vrexian Dominion decided that peace was weakness. They came to this world and committed genocide. They killed every Delrine they could find. Men, women, children, elders, artists, teachers, farmers. 40 million souls extinguished because one empire believed might made right. The crowd stood in silence. Many had tears in their eyes. Some species had lost their own people to Vrexian aggression. Earth could not bring them back, Jiwan continued, but we could ensure they would be the last. We could make certain that no other peaceful species would suffer the same fate. That was our promise. That is what we fought for. She stepped back. Deho moved forward to speak next. The Galactic Council failed the Delrine. We all know this. For too long, the Council spoke of peace while doing nothing to enforce it. We debated while innocents died. We wrote resolutions while empires expanded through terror. Several Council members looked uncomfortable, but no one disagreed. Earth has proposed new laws, Deho said. Real enforcement mechanisms. Real protection for peaceful species. Some call this Earth trying to control the galaxy. They are wrong. We are trying to save it. He gestured to the monument. These names represent our failure, all of us. Every species here shares responsibility for what happened. We knew the Vrexians were dangerous. We knew they had destroyed other species. We did nothing, his voice hardened. Never again. That is what this memorial means. Never again will we stand by while innocents are slaughtered. Never again will we let fear of conflict prevent us from protecting the weak. Never again will good people die alone while the galaxy watches. Councillor Mara of the Hesperan Union stepped forward. The Council has voted on Earth's proposals. We have agreed to form a new organization, the Galactic Defense Force. Any species that threatens peaceful worlds will face immediate intervention. This was news. Yunji had hoped for support but had not expected full approval so quickly. Earth will lead this force, Mara continued. Not because they seek power, but because they proved willing to act when no one else would. Other species will join them. My people have already committed ships and personnel. More representatives stood. The Fendori, whom Earth had saved from Vrexian attack, pledged support. The Kelmorans, freed from slavery, offered their shipyards. One by one, species committed to the new defense force. Not everyone agreed. The Torvine representative spoke against it. We did not ask to be saved. We do not want military protection. This force will become an army of conquest like the Vrexians were. Yunji responded calmly. We will not force protection on anyone. Species that wish to remain neutral may do so, but those who want security will have it. And those who threaten peace will know there are consequences. As the sun set completely, they began reading the names, all 40 million of them. It would take days to read every name, but they had committed to doing so. Young-Ho started, his voice steady as he read the first 100 names. Then Jiwan took over. Then Deho. Representatives from other species joined in. The reading continued through the night and into the next day. Ships in orbit broadcast the names across the galaxy. Everyone would hear. Everyone would remember. On the third day, they lit an eternal flame at the base of the monument. It would burn forever, powered by the same energy systems that kept the orbital stations running. A light in the darkness. A reminder. Yunji gave the final speech as the flame was lit. The Delrine believed in the goodness of the galaxy. They believed that civilized species could coexist peacefully. They were right to believe that. They were wrong to think it would happen without effort. She looked at the faces around her, humans and aliens standing together. Peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of justice. The Delrine had peace but no justice to protect it. We will not make that mistake again. This memorial stands as a promise. Earth promises to protect those who cannot protect themselves. We promise to stand against aggression wherever it appears. We promise that the Delrine will not be forgotten. She turned to face the monument, the eternal flame reflecting in her eyes. To the Delrine people, your civilization is gone, but your legacy lives on. You taught us the value of peace. Your deaths taught us the cost of inaction. We will honor both lessons. Around the monument, gardens had been planted. Human and alien children worked together to tend them, planting flowers and crystal formations. Young ones who had never known the Delrine but would grow up hearing their story.